Well, everyone knows college is expensive and the cost keeps rising, but price doesn't always mean quality. So we went and spoke to money.com to find out when they crunched their numbers in the annual list of best colleges for your money, what they found out. And joining us now to talk about everything and which schools in our area actually top their list for money.com's special project editor, Caitlin Mulhare. Caitlin, thank you so much for being here. This is a hot topic, especially right now as kids are being sent off and parents are stroking the check. So you actually broke down some of the top factors. We wanted to list them here for you and then break them down. So let's pop it up and compile this list. First factor you looked at was quality of education, and that included factors like graduation rate, value added, graduation rate, freshman tests, and scores, student to faculty ratio. Why is this list so important? Why did these make the top cut?
Sure. Well, so if you don't graduate from college, you don't get any of the benefits of in the labor market of having a college degree, right? So the most important thing that you can look at when you're assessing a college's quality is the graduation rate. It's a really easy number to look up for any college. And there are also sites online where you can look up the graduation rate for different populations of students, which is also important. We take that one step further by looking at the value added graduation rate. So what that is basically is we know from a lot of research that students who come from wealthier families and students who have higher high school GPAs and higher SAT and ACT scores, those students are more likely to graduate. They're more likely to be successful in college regardless of where they go. So the colleges that enroll a lot of those students have higher graduation rates regardless of what they're doing when they get on campus.
Okay.
So the value add graduation rate is a way to sort of level the playing field a little bit. And we look at the incoming students, so we look at the student body and we compare colleges that enroll similar students to see which ones are doing better. And so we basically have a predicted graduation rate and then the actual graduation rate. And so a lot of the colleges at the top of our list have graduation rates that are, 20, 30, 40% higher than similar colleges.
Oh, that's really interesting. I just learned something. Let's talk about affordability. You mentioned that as well when you talk about who these students are graduating and the backgrounds that they come from. So the price of the degree and ability to pay off loans and any debt that would be accumulated with your education is something else you should consider. Why is that something that you've now put in here?
Yes, so we're money.com. Affordability is a huge thing for us. I'd say it's one of the biggest parts of our rankings. One of the big things we look at is the net price of a degree. So everyone knows that there are those super high sticker prices, right? So that's the cost of attendance for a single year. But in reality, nobody or very few people actually pay those sticker prices. At private colleges, something like 9 in 10 freshmen are getting a discount to pay, a scholarship, I should say, a scholarship or grant to lower that price. And the average discount is about 50%. So the net price tells you what you will actually pay. And then we look at the net price of a degree because, of course, you're paying for more than 1 year of college. In some cases, you're paying for more than 4 years of college, which can also really add to the total price.
So are you saying that grants and scholarships and things like that should also be factored into your decision?
Yes, absolutely. You never want to rule out a college based only on the sticker price. Every college has to have what's called a net price calculator. The easiest way to find it is just to Google that with your college's names, because sometimes they can be hidden on the website. And they'll ask you a couple questions about your family's background, sometimes your academic background, and then they'll give you an idea of what personally you may pay at that college.
It's funny because we talk about affordability and I say also this is a time that you tell your kids, well, if you didn't get a grant or a scholarship, maybe you should move on.
Yes, yeah. So we preach that a lot, that it's really important. And it's, of course, money is not fun to talk about a lot of the time, right?
But it's an important topic.
Yeah. So it's really important for parents to and students to kind of have that conversation continually during the college search so that there's no surprises. One of the worst things you can do is, have a student get into their dream college in the spring of their senior year and then realize, oh wait, we have no way of paying for this.
So let's talk about the end game. You graduate, you get a job, and you want to make sure that you're making money and that this degree that you've now gotten is going to pay off. Let's talk about some of these outcomes of what you're looking for as you walk out the door.
Yes, yeah. So I want to say, of course, I recognize money recognizes that there are plenty of reasons to go to college and that it's not just to, make money. But that said, we do know that several surveys of students find that getting a good job after college is one of the most important, if not the most important reasons students say they're going to college. And that's of course more important today because they're paying more for their degree too. So we look a lot at the average earnings of alumni. We use a few different measures. One is just the basic average salary, but we also adjust that by the common majors out of school. So that if you're going to an engineering school, you would expect to earn more than if you were going to maybe an education school.
Right.
So we look at both of those, and we also
which is unfortunate, by the way.
Yes,
that
yeah,
educators aren't in that same bracket.
Right. They should be. They should be. Yeah.
And one more thing I wanted to mention, because we can't fail to mention that several of our colleges made the top list.
Yeah.
Which ones do we see?
Yeah. So our #1 college this year is the University of California, Irvine, which I realize is not in New York.
Yeah.
But it is really exciting because it's the first time we've had a public college in the #1 spot.
Interesting.
And it's also the first time we've had a #1 and #2 college that are public universities. And so that #2 is the City University of New York Baruch campus.
Yeah.
So that's like right down the road here.
Really, literally.
Yeah, yeah, which is really exciting. Baruch is wonderful because it's super affordable. Students graduate into well-paying jobs, and the place where it really shines is in our economic mobility rate. So it has a long history of propelling students into the middle class.
And then also Princeton?
Yes, Princeton.
We expect that.
Yeah. Princeton is our longtime #1. Got pushed down to #3 this year.
I'm surprised too, because I feel like people in the area wouldn't put Baruch and Princeton in the same.
Yes, yeah. So that's a great question. The goal of these rankings, right, is to say that there are a variety of colleges that are providing value to their students. So if you get into Baruch and Princeton, I'm not going to say that Baruch is #1 for you or Princeton is #1 for you. It's a really obviously individual, decision.
Yeah, sure.
But both of them are providing things that we can measure for their graduates.
Oh, Caitlin, thank you so much for being here. Great
you.
insight. A lot of parents will appreciate that.
I hope so.